What's going on, everyone? Gilman with Wellthy Stocks back with another Palantir update video, ticker symbol PLTR. We'll take a look at how the stock traded today, some key support and resistance levels that we are looking at moving into the future, and based on that, what we think Palantir could do. So real quick, if you enjoy videos like this, hit that like button down below, subscribe to my channel if you are new, and comment down below what your thoughts are on Palantir, and I'd love to chat with you guys down there. So let me hit record and we will get right into it. And we go to Palantir here for us real quick, and we will get right into it. So as we could see, a nice day for Palantir. We are up 98 cents on the day, which is about 3.82%, up another 18 cents after hours, putting us near 4.5% green for the day. So another great green day for Palantir here. If we take a look at the NASDAQ was up 1.5%. Dow Jones was up 120 points, which is 0.39%. And then S&P was up $2.95, which is 0.79%. So compared to all the major indexes, Palantir definitely outperformed. Let's take a quick look why, and then we will take a look at the, this is the Moderna article. And then we'll take a look at how the stock traded today, see if we can get a future kind of direction where the stock could be headed. So Palantir nabbed a multi-million-dollar contract with PG&E, hence share gaining 3%. We don't know the exact details on how big that contract is. At least I didn't see it anywhere based on what I read, but it is a multi-million-dollar contract. And what they're going to do is they're going to enhance the reliability of electric grids in California. This is one of the reasons why this share price was up today. They're going to bring forward, streamline data management across the company and improve its electric operation and assets management. This contract marks the first time Palantir's Foundry software will be used by a major US utility, but hopefully not the last, right? That's kind of why the reason why I remain bullish on Palantir, because we've seen deals like this come, we get one, pretty much every week. Couple $1 million here, couple $1 million there, and to think that this company is still, growing, it's still like we read here, right? It's the first major US utility to use this. Imagine if this starts to spread throughout, right? The potential that Palantir has, which is why I remain bullish on the stock currently. That's not a reason for you to buy. I'm just sharing kind of what I see with the company to see if you guys, if you agree. You can invest in the company as well. Always make sure to do your own research before investing. So if we take a look at Friday, right, we saw a sell-off all the way from kind of the 26s to the 25s after the kind of push up from this 24s, right? So it was still a small green day. So in the pre-market today, right, what we were looking at was the next push up to the 2682 level, right? And in the pre-market, we got that we bounced off of this level, went down, came up, broke above, found support, pushed up 2750s, pushed down, bounce, and then kept bouncing for a little bit there, excuse me, and then we started to sell off, right? The reason that I look at this in detail is because look at how many times rejection, support, right? It really validates the levels that we have. Yes, we ended up breaking below that level, but if you are watching the stock, right, you know exactly what level we are looking at, that 2680s level. I mean, it bounced here in the 2670s a couple times. It did bounce perfectly there, bounced perfectly kind of there. So, plus or minus 10, 20 cents, and we got some decent bounces if you knew kind of what levels we were looking at. For the rest of the day, we sold off, right, 26s, and then we pushed right back up, and guess what? If we're pushing up, we are looking at the next highest level, which again is this 2680s level. Rejected, went down, came up, stayed above it, and then pushed below, rejection, and then sold off and pushed up into the close. That 2680s level is a pretty strong resistance level, as you could see from the amount of times we hit up against it throughout the course of the day. It was also holding up as a decent support level though, right? If we are above a level, it holds up as good support, meaning if you were to go down, you bounce off of that level, hopefully push right back up. If you're going up to a level, can't come up and then come right back down. That's a resistance level, right? So this 2680s, as we established today, acts as a really strong resistance, but if we can get above it, it should act as really good support as well. So let's take a look at what we have coming up in the future based on what we just discussed. So first things first, if you guys have followed me for a while, you know exactly the pattern we are looking at, and that is this wedge pattern forming. We are taking a look at this line coming down, this line coming up, and this could lead to a potential breakout at the end of this channel. Now, we did go above it, right? We're closing below it, but we did hit up, you know, against this line. If I move this up slightly, so a couple things can happen here from this pattern perspective, right? We can either keep hitting against it, right, but not close above it, potentially going sideways, start to sell off a little bit, consolidate kind of in this range above the 25 level, but below this 2660s level, get to the end of this wedge as this line comes down and this line comes up, and then we break out at the end. The other thing that can happen is we could sell off now, right, and then hopefully bounce off from this line somewhere, and then we kind of consolidate and push up. And the last thing is this pattern just breaks and we break out here, or we push higher here, at which point I'd be expecting this line, this diagonal line coming down, to hold up as good support. Which one of those it does, I'm not sure, as long as, right, we either see a breakout in my first two scenarios, or in the third scenario it goes up now anyway, so we see the stock going up. I own a little bit of shares and then a leap call expiring in, I think, 2023 January, if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, hoping for Palantir to continue doing super well in the near future, or actually not even in the near future, right? Because mine's a leap, so in the long term as well. But let's take a look at future levels of support and resistance, see if we can get some indication of where the stock could be headed, right? So if we take a look here, we are above the 8 EMA and the 21, 34, 55, and 89. So we're nicely above the EMAs. The EMAs are now stacked, which is a great bullish sign for the company moving forward. But where do we go from here? Well, like we saw today, that 2680s level acted as really good support and then really good resistance in the second half of the day. So if we see, first of all, we're right at that level, right? So depending on where we open, I think determines how the stock trades tomorrow. If we open above it, I think that level should act as good support like it did today at the beginning of the day. But, you know, if we break through that level, if we break below it, then I think we could fall all the way to today's low, which is $26, before falling to the 8 EMA at 25.64, and then this 25.34, 21 EMA. So those are the levels that I'm watching: $26, 25.64 at the 8 EMA, 25.34 with the 21 EMA. Now I realize those are super close, but I think that we could find support any of those levels. If that doesn't work, we've got the 34 EMA all the way down at 24.39, right? So again, really quickly recapping, low of today is the first point I'm watching at 26, then I'm watching the 8 EMA 25.64, 21 EMA 25.34, then I'm watching the 34 EMA at 24.39, all as potential levels of support. Now, if we push up, assuming we can clear this 2680s level and we're not coming down like we did today a couple times to test it, I think the next key point for us would be this diagonal line coming down, right? The top line of that wedge, which tomorrow should be kind of in the mid to high 27s. So 2770s would be kind of the point I'm watching. If we can clear that, I think 2805 is next. Remember that if we do see a rejection at this level, it's not a bad sign. If we see a little bit of a pullback, if we see some sideways consolidation, it could be good for the stock in the long term, right? Long term, not even being super long term. I'm talking maybe the next couple of days to a week as we kind of get to the closing in of this wedge. And then hopefully we see a breakout after that, right? So that's what I'm referring to. So don't be worried if we see a little bit of a pullback. I think that could be decent for the stock moving forward. But with kind of the news, we're getting the positive news, right? We could also see a breakout of this line and a push higher. Either way, hopefully we move up from here. So let me know what you guys think of Palantir moving forward down in the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Let's remember to be a bit better every single day. And until next time.